Once upon a time, in a small village by the sea, there lived a man named Marcus. He was a fisherman, just like his father and his father before him. Every morning, before the sun rose, Marcus would push his boat into the water and set out to catch fish. Some days the sea was calm, and the fish were plenty. Other days the waves were fierce, and he returned home with nothing. Life was unpredictable, and Marcus often felt restless. He wondered why some days were good and others were bad. He wished for a way to find peace no matter what the sea brought him. One evening, as he sat by the shore, an old traveler passed by. The man had a quiet strength about him, and Marcus invited him to share his fire. The traveler introduced himself as Lucius, and spoke of the philosophy of the Stoics. Marcus had never heard of such teachings before, but he listened closely. Lucius explained that Stoicism was not about controlling the world, but about controlling the mind. It was about finding peace within, no matter the storms outside. Marcus was curious. How can a man be at peace when the sea takes his boat and leaves him hungry? He asked. Lucius smiled and said, "The sea does as it pleases. You cannot command the waves, but you can command your thoughts. If you accept what you cannot change, you will suffer less. If you focus only on what is in your power, your choices, your actions, your attitude, then you will never be truly helpless." These words stayed with Marcus. The next morning he went out to fish as usual, but this time he carried a new thought with him. The sea was rough, and the winds were strong. His boat rocked violently, and he caught few fish. But instead of frustration, he felt calm. He reminded himself that the waves were not his to control. His only task was to steer his boat as best he could. Days turned into weeks, and Marcus practiced these lessons. When the catch was poor, he did not despair. When the weather was fair, he did not grow too proud. He began to see that his happiness did not depend on the fish or the sea, but on his own mind. He learned to separate what was within his power from what was not. The wind, the waves, the moods of other men, these were beyond him. But his effort, his patience, his courage, these were his own. One day, a great storm came. The other fishermen stayed ashore, fearing the danger. But Marcus had prepared his boat well, and he knew his skills. He did not fear the storm, but he did not challenge it either. He sailed carefully, respecting the power of nature. When he returned, his boat was battered, but he was unharmed. The villagers asked him how he stayed so calm. Marcus simply said, "I cannot stop the storm, but I can sail through it." Over time, Marcus became known for his wisdom. People came to him with their troubles, a lost harvest, a broken friendship, a sickness in the family. He did not offer them solutions to their problems, for many things were beyond fixing. Instead, he taught them to see what they could control. "You cannot make the rain fall," he would say, "but you can plant the seeds. You cannot force others to be kind, but you can choose kindness yourself." Years passed, and Marcus grew old. His hair turned gray, and his hands, once strong from pulling nets, became frail. Yet his mind remained steady. Even when illness came, he did not despair. The body must obey nature, he told his family, but the soul is free. On his last day, he sat by the same shore where he had met Lucius long ago. The sea was calm, the sky clear. He closed his eyes, not in fear, but in peace. The story of Marcus spread far and wide. It was said that a Stoic fisherman had found the secret to inner peace, not by conquering the world, but by mastering himself. And though the sea still raged, and the wind still blew, those who remembered his teachings knew that peace was always within reach, if only they looked inward. The lesson is simple, but deep. Life will bring storms. Some days will be bright, others dark. But the Stoic does not fight what cannot be changed. Instead, they focus on what they can control: their thoughts, their actions, their will. Inner peace does not come from a perfect life. It comes from a trained mind. Like Marcus, we must learn to sail our boats, not command the sea. So the next time trouble comes, ask yourself, is this in my power? If it is, act with courage. If it is not, accept with grace. This is the Stoic path. This is the way to peace.